Hi everyone. Are you the mom that is starting to stress about the upcoming holidays and feeling the weight of the estrangement that you're dealing with? So today I want to talk about the pros and cons of inviting your adult child home for Christmas and for the holidays. Maybe that's Thanksgiving or Christmas or both for you. But I want to touch base on this because you are not alone in this. This is a huge decision and a huge stressor that a lot of moms deal with. And so today we're going to talk about the pros and cons of that. So for those of you that are new here to my channel, I just want to welcome you. My name is Sally Harris, and I'm a mom who walked the same tough road with my own daughter for over a decade. And I want to also mention to you that I spent 9 years, 9 holiday seasons away from my child. And so I want you to understand that I get you. I understand what you're going through, and I know what a difficult decision sometimes that it is on, how to proceed with the holidays. So let's start off by talking about the pros, okay? So if you're in this situation and you have communication with your child, you have some communication, it may not be perfect, right? Or maybe you're a mom that has been estranged, but you just want to open that door, right? I want to start off also by saying no two families are the same, okay? So you need to take what you glean from this video for your own personal situation with no judgment on any other family, right? Because I could have 2 conversations or 3 conversations with 3 different moms, and the answers might be different for each family because there's a lot of factors that come into play. But number 1 of the pros is it opens reconciliation. It opens the door to reconciliation. So it does create an opportunity for conversation. It creates an opportunity for rebuilding the relationship. It does demonstrate unconditional love, that no matter what has happened, this is a possibility that we can work through our differences, right? We're showing them that they're valued and that they're missed, right? And we're going to get into the cons in a little bit here. So just remember, these are the pros. So it does open the door to reconciliation. Number 2 is it maintains family unity. So if you have multiple children and during these significant holiday times or even a significant family event, it can be crucial for their well-being to be invited. I'm not saying if they're verbally or, God forbid, physically abusive towards you or the family, that's a different story, right? But if there's an opportunity, if the opportunity opens the door for family unity, of course you would want to take that, okay? Number 3 is the potential for positive change. So being included in family gatherings might be something that they're yearning for, very possibly. I also want you to remember that you may not get a response, okay? So that is something that you need to consider as a mom. You need to consider, can I make this invitation even though I may not get a response from them? Am I going to be okay if I do that? And if the answer is yes, then I would say it could be in consideration. If the answer is no, you're going to be devastated and go back to square one, then I would say no, I wouldn't do it. Because the potential for positive change, potential for reconciliation, that's all there, right? It's all there, but it takes 2. It takes 2. So it does help you show unconditional love. So those are some of the pros in inviting, right? The family unity, trying to get that closeness back. But you also are going to want to take into consideration what has happened in the most recent past. I'm not talking a year, 5 years, 10 years ago, unless that was the last time you've had conversation or any type of interaction with them. But the most recent behavior, right? It's predicting your most recent future here as far as their behavior. So in regards to behaviors, just real quick, I want to mention that today, November 1st, is the last day to sign up for my Struggle to Strength course. We actually start tonight, or we start on Wednesday night on the 1st. And so I wanted to invite you to that. If you're interested, you can you can email me at sally@harris.com and I can send you more information on that. But that is starting on Wednesday, November 1st. So I just wanted to mention that. Now let's dive into the cons. So there is potential for conflict. Let's be honest. So inviting that estranged child may lead to confrontational situations. It may lead to you and or the rest of your family feeling very uncomfortable, especially if those unresolved issues weren't addressed or are not addressed beforehand. I've worked with moms who swore they would not invite their child home for Christmas and they ended up doing so. And they ended up having, it felt really awkward at first, but then the child came, the daughter came, and they ended up having really good conversation. They didn't get into all the depths of everything at the event, right? At the gathering, but it opened the door for more conversation after Christmas. And so that was a beautiful thing. So that's the potential for conflict, right? You're going to have to take that risk if that's what you choose to do. So you want to make sure also that you are not causing distress to other family members. So for example, your other children. If it's something that your other children who are currently under your care, they're under 18, or maybe they are grown adults as well, but there's just been so much that has happened that maybe Christmas is not the right time. Holidays are not the right time to invite that estranged child home. Maybe you need to do it on more of a kind of a level playing field where there's not other family members around. So number 2 is setting boundaries. When you are inviting your adult child home without clear boundaries on what the expectations are if they were to come to the house or if they were to come to the family gathering. So you don't want this repeated patterns of unhealthy behavior, because you are going to need, while you're setting these boundaries, what I want for you as a mom is to make sure that you are aligned with someone else in that room, whether it's your spouse, your friend, your sister, whoever, that you can make eye contact with to say, this is not comfortable. Something needs to change. I need to step outside and get some air. And that person's got your back. You need to have that person in your world during that day. Number 3 is the impact on other family members. We touched on this a little bit, but it can definitely impact other people. And I always say, we need to love who's in front of us. But I want you to remember, of course you love your son or daughter that is estranged, but the child that has been alongside by your side this whole time, if that is a hard no for them, then I would respect that, okay? And that leads me into number 4, which is emotional preparedness. We talked a little bit about having that person, right? Having that person in the room that can be your sidekick that day is super, super important, because if there's any possibility of any strained conversation or the disappointment if expectations are not met, which is what I don't want for you. That is number 1, in my opinion, on decision making. Can I do this without having expectations? Am I inviting them home expecting that they are just a changed person and that everything is fine? You can't have that expectation, right? My hope for you would be that things are better, and that you can move forward with one another after the holiday event. However, that doesn't always happen. And so this is going to be a 2-part series as well. So my next video, we're going to talk more about how to make that decision. What do the holidays look like for your family? And we're going to dive into more detail in the next video. I'll see you then.